It's time for another Disney vlog. Hi everybody. If you saw a couple of weeks ago, I put out a Disney vlog from 2007, which was when me and Christine and my friend Devin went to Disney, and it was a lot of fun, and I thought it'd be fun to keep doing that. Because again, I'm going to Disneyland and Disney World later this month and next month, and I'll be vlogging, and I'm excited for that. But I wanted to put out something else, and I thought this would be a novel idea. I actually don't know if other people do this, but I think it'd be fun to do. And that is, I have all these old digitized VHS home movies from past trips to Disney, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool to edit them vlog style to do sort of like a retro Disney vlog. And so today I'm kicking off a 1997 Disney World vlog. This was a trip that I went on with my sister, my dad, my mom. It was the four of us. 1997 means I was 10 years old at the time, or I was 9 going on 10, depending on when it was. Disney World was celebrating its 25th anniversary, which was in October of 1996. But of course, they run a lot of these things over a year long, so people can all enjoy it depending on when they show up. So in 97, they were still doing it. It's when the infamous pink birthday cake castle happened, so you're going to get to see some of that. And I figured originally I was going to cut it just sort of like a regular vlog, very straightforward. But I wanted to throw some context into a lot of the stuff there. So you might see like some pseudo director commentary moments where I start talking about what's going on, and there's a lot of footage that I was going through. So this is the first of what'll probably be 3 videos all about this trip. And so you're going to see little 9-year-old me, and you're going to see my sister, who is then at that point 5 years old, and then my parents, my dad being the cameraman. And this was back in the day when cameras were like these big things you had on your shoulder. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get to see, hopefully for people who have who are old enough to have been at the parks around this time, it will be a cool look back at, the parks that have changed so much since then. And hopefully for some of you younger viewers out there, it's a cool peek at Disney in a way it was that you might have never gotten to experience before. Enjoy it, and I'll see you on the other side. Oh, there's me. There's little 9-year-old me. It's 7 in the morning. Just to give you a little background here, we're going to Orlando. Because of an airline mix-up, we actually got bumped to first class, and this was actually the first and only time in my life I got to fly first class. And as you can see, obviously, flying was a very different experience back in the 90s. So yeah, I was psyched. And believe it or not, at that point in time, things like a folding table from the arm and like a really cheap 80s cell phone was kind of amazing to me. I'm just going to throw that out there. Now I'm amazed at how old it all looks. And that's my little sister Sam.
No comment. Looks like she's having a ball, all right?
And that's Dad making dad jokes. And there's Dad. And in case you didn't know that was the 90s, now you know it's the 90s because that was my Tamagotchi.
Yep. You just have to land.
Hi, Sam.
I wonder if all that construction has Disney stuff.
And for this trip, we actually stayed at the All-Star Music. I think at this point in the 90s, the Pop Century didn't exist, or it was being built. But it was just the All-Stars at this point. I don't even know if all of the All-Stars were open at this point, actually, to be honest. It might have just been like music and sports. And there it is, the Pepto-Bismol cake. I didn't care back then, but now looking at it, it is just super, super ugly. And this is, I believe, Mickey's Toontown. This was something that was originally, I believe, a completely temporary setup that ended up becoming permanent. And speaking of things that are not there anymore, here's Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Hey, giving us a ride.
But you can actually ride it in Disneyland because it's still there.
Just drive along.
And I'm getting yelled at for my fake driving skills. A little bit of Small World during a torrential downpour. I cut out a lot of the ride-through bits just because a lot of the rides were things that are still there today, so you could still get some of the ride-through. To be honest, I'm not sure why I left that.
How'd it done, bro?
This is just to embarrass Sam, really. Purely for that reason. And this was a cool visitor center that they had set up for the 25th anniversary, which had a whole bunch of art and concept art for the Magic Kingdom to sort of celebrate the building of the park. And what you could do there is you could go and you would be able to give the year of your first visit, and they would give you a special pin that looked very similar to like a cast member pin that would say what year, you know, your first trip to Disney World was. And I don't know where they are. I'm sure they're in a closet somewhere, but we all have our own in our family with our first trip. And my mom's pin actually is from 1971 because they went, I don't think it was opening day, but it was the year that Disney World opened that they went down there. And this is, of course, footage from the famous Epcot film that Walt gave weeks before he passed away, sort of explaining the Florida project. And I guess they had it playing on loop there at the time. It's funny how much I would have appreciated it now.
That's exactly what the map looked like. Map is a look. Yeah, do you see anything here?
Pre-Tomorrowland.
That was opening day.
What year does it say in here?
Look, look. This is the beginning of my education of Disney.
Find me. Am I in there?
Yeah, there you go, right back here.
I'm right there. What are you, blind?
Right there you are.
And then we went to Epcot for this day. And again, everything was celebrating the 25th anniversary. This, I'm really excited to show you a part of what we saw in Epcot because I was blown away by it. Also, my dad loved Fade to Whites. But look, Test Track. Test Track wasn't open at this point. It was still a new ride. And they had this really cheesy 1990s video that was promoting it, and my dad filmed the entirety of the video, and so we're gonna get to watch the entirety of the video. So here we go. For the record, there's nothing wrong with the frame rate. They just love to do this in the 90s, and I don't know why. And then, of course, my favorite ride, Horizons. We don't have a full ride through, and unfortunately, I don't know if it was the tape transfer or the tape itself, but the audio sort of cuts out here. It gets too staticky, but this is just sort of little clips and snippets from Horizons, which you can find a full ride through out there on YouTube these days. But I just loved getting to watch this again. I miss this ride so much. It was just so... It was so stylized. Like, the art was just so beautiful, whether it's the wall and different scenes or just like scenes like this with its art deco vibe. I just loved everything about it, and I miss this ride a whole lot. So, you know, there you have it. That's a little bit of Epcot and a little bit of the Magic Kingdom on the 25th anniversary, and there's me riding it. I believe at this point we knew it was going to close and they were going to put Mission Space there, so it was sort of a bittersweet. We were riding it for what we knew would be one of the last times, and we were just enjoying it. I don't know why my dad didn't record the whole thing, but oh well.
resources. A living tribute to our richest resource, people.
Considering it was 1997, my dad cut and recorded this stuff as if it was the YouTube era really well. Just completely arbitrarily cuts off after 5 seconds.
How did you and Daddy ever survive us? Oh, that reminds me.
Look at that, will you? A few years ago, this was all barren desert. But seawater has become an excellent source.
And that was Horizons.